Hi, I'm Tom, one half of the Retrospectives podcast, and I've made something involving Doom, one of its greatest mods, and a monstrous British creation that terrified children in the 1990s. Doom, the granddaddy of first-person shooters. Following its release in 1993, I was one of the teenage boys who spent far too much time on it, spending hours and hours blasting away demons and zombies. The Doom community thrives to this day, with mods ranging from the hyper-violent Brutal Doom, a recreation of The Legend of Zelda, and even a battle with a reincarnated Margaret Thatcher. But no mod has caused more of a stir in the Doom community in recent years than My House. If you love Doom and you haven't played My House yet, then what are you doing? I urge you to turn this video off and go and play it for yourself. Don't worry, you won't be missing anything. I'll just be reading from this weighty tome. How can you remember minute details of football matches you played in when you were 18? You played My House? Good. And if you haven't, I'm not responsible for any spoilers. My House is hands down the best Doom map I've ever played. It starts off as a seemingly innocent tribute to a deceased friend, but slowly develops into a maddening trip through mirrors, dimensions, fire, and jumping out of planes. At one point, you find yourself in a daycare centre, where you're confronted with a crudely drawn image of the DreamWorks ogre Shrek. After collecting a couple of artefacts, the image of Shrek will disappear and a door will emerge, leading you to a decidedly creepy playground. If you stand still, you will find yourself taking damage. Turn around and you'll see that said damage is coming from none other than Shrek himself. The battle is on. After enough hits, he explodes, leaving the key required to exit the playground and continue the experience. Now, this is where I decided to make a change. Is Shrek creepy enough for this mod? I'm not so sure. However, as a Brit, I know of one character who just might be. So, let's take a look at what I've done. In my altered version, you come down the slide, struggle through the ball pool, take a look around, and you're face to face with Mr Blobby. People's reactions to Mr Blobby are varied, to say the least. Depending on how old you are and where you're from, your reaction might range from mild amusement to some bafflement, or even absolute terror. To explain all of this, I need to take you back to the UK in the early 90s. Although it's hard to believe now, up until 1997 the UK only had 4 free-to-air channels. 2 of these channels, BBC One and ITV, were in fierce competition during the coveted Saturday tea time slot. A BBC staple was Noel's House Party, a variety show hosted by Noel Edmonds, a man who had been on UK screens since the 1970s. At its height during Christmas 1992, the show brought in a staggering 15 million viewers. A favourite of the show was The Gotcha, where a celebrity would fall victim to one of Edmonds' pranks. As an aside, the show got in trouble with the company behind the Oscars, as they didn't have permission to use the image of the Oscar statuette. So whenever you see a Gotcha award, it's blurred out. In 1992, an entire spoof kids TV show was created for the Gotchas. Celebrities were told they'd be appearing on a real children's TV show called Mr Blobby. I mean, look at him. The pink, blotchy body. The permanent toothy grin, the staring green eyes. The setup for the pranks were very believable, with garishly coloured sets, high BBC production values, and even a lavishly produced title sequence and theme tune. Of course, everything would go wrong. Sets would collapse, Mr Blobby would trip over sheep, insult Valerie Singleton, that sort of thing, until his head came off and Edmonds revealed himself. I can still watch the Mr Blobby gotchas today. I really admire the craft, effort and commitment of all on set to make the celebrities believe they were making a real kids TV show. Blobby Mania took off. Mr Blobby's celebrity was so big he managed to get the Christmas number 1 in 1993. He did the unthinkable. After the single got to number 1 in its first week, it then lost the top spot to Take That. However, the next week saw it return to the number 1 spot in time for Christmas. So it went to number 1, got knocked off top spot, then went back a week later. A feat not achieved since Frankie Lane with I Believe in 1953. As time went on, the cleverness of the original gotchas was soon forgotten. Rather than doing anything smart or well written, Mr Blobby would burst in, get a cheer, and generally trash the place while screaming. Every time I see him do this, I sigh and consider it yet another lost opportunity. Some, perfectly justifiably, found this unpredictable behaviour absolutely terrifying. I was born in 1982, so I would have been about 11 when Mr Blobby was at his peak. I found him amusing, but the same cannot be said for people born later. Take the comedian Jack Whitehall, who was born in 1988, and so would have been about 5 years old during the peak of Blobby mania. He was unfortunate enough to be on a show with Mr Blobby, and you can see the genuine horror in his eyes when our pink friend gets anywhere near him. With all that said, let's see what's behind the nursery door. Oh my, what have I created? Rather than hiding in the corner like Shrek, Mr Blobby is in the middle of the playground and he screams as soon as he sees you. He's 5 times faster than Shrek, and instead of doing the standard meander, he just charges straight at you. This means that he can get stuck on things, and if he does, he's dead easy to pump full of lead until he drops the key. Oh yes, I put another one in, because why not? Don't worry, he's too big to fit through any of the corridors. Well, I could have left it there, but for me, that wasn't enough Blobby action. After experimenting a bit, I decided to create a version of the Mr Blobby monster with very few hit points, so it's really easy to kill. At the end of the game, lots of monsters spawn for the finale. I've replaced each one of them with a Mr Blobby. Love to see Jack Whitehall confronted with this. Yes, I even put a Mr Blobby in the real beach, because why not? And there we are. You get to spend eternity on a real beach with a dog and a dead Mr Blobby. And there we are, Mr Blobby in myhouse.wad. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please share it around. And if you want to experience the Blobby carnage for yourself, the PK3 file will be available to download in the link in the video description. Please listen to the Retrospectivist podcast, and I'll see you soon.